Hi, my name is Julie and I'm coming to you from just north of Glasgow in the UK. Welcome to my channel, which is about sewing, knitting, sometimes patchwork, sometimes crochet. Today I'm going to do a review of the knitted items I've made since I started this channel back in, I think it was October, November time 2024. And I started the channel with the aim of creating 65 items for the year of my 65th birthday. So I'm already 65, but that's fine. I wanted to make 65 items over the year. And I thought it was a good time to do a bit of review of the things I've made. So I'm going to do two review videos. This first one is going to be about knitted items or crochet, and the second video will be about sewn items. So let's make a start today on my knitted items since October 2024. I have my list, of course, in my book here. I have my pattern book for my download patterns. I have some of the items and I have a cup of coffee. I'm going to start with what I have on. And this is number 11 on my list, which is the berry t-shirt using mohair from my stash. And really not sure where this mohair came from, possibly from this blue from my late mother's stash. The navy, I think somebody gave me. So I'm just going to find the berry t-shirt pattern, which I have, I thought, marked out in my folder. So here it is, the berry t-shirt, and I'm not sure if it's a free download off Ravelry or if it's a paid one. But I was pleased with this make, and I would definitely make one again. I think I altered the sleeves slightly and did more decreases, so the sleeve is slightly puffier. I was just using what I had, and I didn't have enough yarn to do any longer sleeves. But it's fine by me. It's really nice and light, and it's a good between seasons make. So I would definitely recommend this pattern, which I got off Ravelry. As I said, it wouldn't have been very expensive, or it was free. I will write in the description the items that I've talked about. So I'm not saying that's the first thing I made, it's just that's what I'm wearing. Now I'm going to try and go in order, but we'll see how I get on. The first thing I think I finished in terms of knitting was the Felix cardigan, which I used Aran weight yarn, and I think it is all wool, that somebody gave me in the knitting group in our village. It was a really lovely Aran sweater. There was no pattern, and it was for a large male, and one sleeve wasn't finished, but the rest was knitted up. There was no extra yarn with it and no pattern. So I undid it. I undid the jumper and made this Felix cardigan using buttons from my stash. I'm not keen on this, to be honest, and I haven't worn it much. I may undo this and knit up something else, or not knit something, knit a blank, not knit something for me, knit a blanket or something household, as a household make. I don't think this colour's good on me, cream. Here's the pattern. Again, I will put the details down below. It's a very popular pattern, and I know lots of people on here have probably made it, I'm assuming. I should never assume anything, but I think lots of people would have. And I just don't like it on me. It's a bit gapey. I've said before, I'm narrow-shouldered, so I don't like things too hanging on my shoulders. I don't mind undoing things, but we'll see. Anyway, that was the second thing I made, the Felix cardigan with some nice detail on the raglan increases. Right, so that's that one, possibly in order. I then made an O baby cardigan for the baby packs I make. So I made a pink one. I'd already made the crochet blanket a while earlier. Not sure if I made the hat, can't remember. But I made a pink O baby cardigan, which is a really nice, straightforward, knit on a circular needle pattern. A free download off Ravelry. I've made lots of these and they knit up really quickly. You knit the button band alongside the main body, so there's no picking up stitches. I've knitted, I think that's my third since I've been doing the channel, so they are nice and easy, and I donate them to the knitting group in the village. I then made, and I just had to dig this out of the cupboard, excuse me, a doll's cardigan, which I think is possibly the right size. Again, I would have had this off Ravelry. Oh, this doll is staring at me. Ooh, is that a bit spooky? Which is fine. Just again, some acrylic, which I had in my stash. I got lots of acrylic yarn. So I'm not sure if I said this when I first made this. This doll, my father, who sadly died when I was a child, was working, demolishing an old building in the town where we lived, back in the Rhondda. And this doll he found, I don't know, under the floorboards or something. Oh, it's a long time ago. But it's pottery, so I don't know how old it is. But my mother kept this for me, and then it came to me, and I'm not sure if I did play with it. I loved dolls when I was little. Not sure if I played with this one because it's pottery. But anyway, that's the cardigan. And I couldn't find the pattern for this. So sometimes I just read them off my phone if they're simple, straightforward patterns. So perhaps that's what I did with this. Anyway, a Dolly's cardi, another one of my makes. So I can tick that off. Where I'm sitting is a little futon type sofa in my sewing room. And another 3 of my makes is these cushions. These are crochet cushions, and I had the inserts. I've got lots of cushion inserts, and I just wanted some cushions for this little settee. It's quite a thin futon. Nobody slept on it yet. And I wanted some cushions for it. So this is, I think it's triple crochet UK, double crochet US. Not sure. It's just straightforward back and forth. And I did a flap at the back and used buttons from my stash to make the closure. And the buttonholes are made as part of the pattern. Again, I think I just called it up on my phone. It probably came off Ravelry. But there's the buttonholes, which are just made alongside the pattern. And that was new for me. I'm fairly new to crochet. So that's number one of the crochet blankets. This one is a chunky, I think that's an Aran. This is a chunky yarn, and it's probably the same, double crochet US, triple crochet UK, I think. And doing every other row in different colours. And there are a few mistakes on this. I think this is where I changed yarns, but it's fine. And then I did perhaps a single crochet around the edge to join the two pieces together. And on the back, I did just a blocking of colour there. The pink came from a jumper ages ago. It's all acrylic that I bought in a charity shop to undo. And I did make myself a tank top out of it. I think I undid it in order to make this. I didn't like the colour on me. So, and the navy came from my stash. So that's number 2 with the feather inner. And number 3 is behind me, if I can measure, is a striped one. Oh, this is called bean stitch, which I had, can't remember, but I did watch a video from Crochet Crowd on how to do the bean stitch. And the back is the plain red, again with the buttonholes and buttons from my stash. So 3 cushions for my settee, crocheted using, I think, is this Aran or Chunky? Can't remember, but it's a thicker yarn, and again from my stash. So that's my 3 cushions, and I am going to lose my pencil, of course. So I have to forget the pencil. It's gone somewhere. Just have a sip of coffee. Excuse me. So what's next? Socks. I've made 1 pair of socks since I've been doing the vlog, and they are these. And I mentioned in this week's normal video, or last week's normal video, that they're too big actually. So I am going to undo these. They're toe-up socks using magic loop. I was pleased with them, and I thought, oh, are they too big? They are too big. So they will be undone. It's like a self-patterning yarn with, I can't remember, it's a different type of heel for me. I can't remember what that was, but they will be undone, and I will make a smaller size. Nice and soft. I think it's superwash, and as I said earlier, I don't mind undoing things. So a pair of socks off my list. Do I have another pencil in this bag? Yes. See if I lose this one. Okay, so socks. Another knitted item is the brown mohair tee, which has a yoke all on circular needles, so no sewing up. And this was mohair that came from my late mother's stash, which I had made years ago into a cardigan that I didn't like. And I did make a brown plain mohair jumper, which I've worn loads, but I had some left. So this t-shirt is what I ended up making. And the pattern, again in my file, is, I think it's 24, 26, 24, 28, 30 stitches top of Ravelry. Can't remember if it's free or paid. I should write on top there, shouldn't I? But I will put it in the description. Again, I wore this quite a lot. Change of seasons type top, and you can wear it over a t-shirt. You could wear it over a skirt. I don't own many skirts. And you could possibly wear it over perhaps a dress with a nice waist on it. But again, nice and light, and another finished item. Tick that one off. I then showed some darning using my speed weaver, darning on hand knit socks. I think these were the first socks I made, perhaps 7 years ago. So they've essentially lasted. They're a lovely wool, but the heels were going, or the top of the sole. So I've done some darning with sock yarn using my speed weaver. So then they are good to go, and they're rescued, and they will last a while longer. They are thicker than a 4-ply, I think, and I would have done these on circular needles. But make do and mend, and a pair of socks rescued. Have I lost the pencil yet? Not. So I can tick that off. I then made another of the 24, 28, 30 stitches tops, but this time I used a technique called helical knitting, which is where you use 2 different colours and your yarn changes in a way that doesn't cause a jog between the different rows. Somebody, a subscriber, recommended helical knitting, which I'd never heard of, and I'm so glad they did. It's really good fun, and it's a really nice effect. You can't really see it on here, but this is a sort of pinky peach type yarn, again mohair, and it was like a cloud. It was so beautiful and light, but I didn't have much of it. Likewise, the last of the brown mohair. So combining them in helical knitting, I thought was really effective. What I'd like to do for next winter is to make a dress with more of a gathered waist to wear some of these tops over. I don't think they work on a straight baggy type dress. So I think for next winter I will make a dress with a more ruched ruffled waist, and then I can wear these. Otherwise I just live in trousers. But very soft, and another one of the 24, 28, 30 stitches top via Ravelry. So that's another one. Tick that off. Now, the next 3 things I know are downstairs in the kitchen, and am I going to get them? Okay, I'm going to switch off and go and get them. Excuse me a moment. Okay, back from the kitchen. So the next 3 finished items, this might be a bit of a cheat, are the Helical knitting table mats, which I was aiming to make a rug, but as I said, it's such a boring process that I ended up making the table mats, coasters, whatever you'd like to call them, which are now in our kitchen with a pot, a big vase, something else on each of them. So they are being used. And I think I said on the vlog, sewing them up is quite nice. It's just the process of doing the stick weaving is very boring. So that's another set of finished objects. And I've definitely lost my pencil again. I'll give up, Julie. Right. Knitted baby hat is in here. So with the variegated yarn and the green to go in one of the baby packs. I haven't got a pattern as such because it's very straightforward, and I've just got it on my phone and I just transfer it to a little paper booklet when I'm making it. It's knit in the round, really straightforward, and I will add it below in the description. The next thing, and I've not brought it down, excuse me again. Okay, the next finished knitted item is the Ashley Lillis chunky cardi. Now this cardi started off as a big chunky jumper, and I undid it, and I've now made something which I will get much more wear out come the colder weather again. If I can find the photo, I'll add it here of the jumper. I really didn't like it on me, and as I said, I don't mind undoing things, and I've now got a much more usable item. And the Ashley Lillis cardi, I think that's a free download, and I had downloaded it ages ago, re-downloaded it because I forgot, but so now I've got 2 copies. There is a video to go alongside it by Ashley Lillis, which I don't think I used, and I wasn't convinced about the way you do the raglan increases. I can't remember how now, but it was something like picking up something below. It's not like a normal raglan increase for me, but it works. And the button band, you pick up the stitches after you've done the main body, and I didn't have much yarn left, but very pleased with that. So another finished item, but that'll be ready for next winter now. Again, it would go nice over a dress with a ruched in waist. So I'm just going to take that one off. Ashley Lillis cardi. My next item was this blue crocheted blanket, which I'm calling fancy yarn. I don't think I could knit with this yarn. It came from my late mother's stash, but it's fine for crochet. And it's a baby blanket, and then I made these other items to go with it, the hat and the cardi. So that's that one. And the last item before I sign off, and I did put it where, oh, it's here, the baby cardi, another baby cardi, which is a lemon and white one, again to go with a little pack and from my stash, knitting around and getting through some of my yarn. I think I can sense a bit of having a bit less in drawers and things, but there's still a lot to get through. And what are we now? May. And according to my reckoning, my additions, I don't think is totally accurate, but that is 18 knitted items. And I added up the sewn items, and I think there is 23, possibly 24 sewn items, because there was a t-shirt I know isn't on this list. So I'm getting there. It's good fun. I enjoy doing the videos. Thank you for subscribing and for watching. It's really good to have your company. And hopefully my next video will be a sewing catch up on the things I've sewn since October, November, when I started my channel Stitch From My Stash. Happy stitching, happy making to you. Best wishes, look after yourselves and see you soon. Bye.